Hey kids, wanna hear about something cool?
This is the Panasonic LX100. Nearly a year after its release, it's still the world's cheapest camera on the market that shoots pristine 4K resolution video at 24p directly to an SD card. In this video, we'll dive into the camera's key features, what makes it unique, who it's for, and who should look elsewhere for the 4K or compact camera of their choice. Now, if you're not into watching a long review, you can go ahead and click for my conclusions about the LX100 right now. Or if you'd rather read instead of watch, there's a link to my favorite written review of the LX100 that I've linked in the description. The Panasonic LX100 is like the baby brother of the GH4. It shoots 4K video internally, and it's chock full of lots of sweet features, like a built-in time-lapse mode and stop-motion mode, physical manual controls, and a beautiful 24-75 full-frame equivalent Leica zoom lens, all inside a pocket-sized, sturdy metal housing. The camera weighs in at just under 1 pound and mounts via a standard 1/4-inch thread, which is right next to the door for the battery and SD card. 2 small eyelets at the sides allow for straps to be installed. The slim, relatively streamlined body of the LX100 simply made me far too nervous to carry it without some safety measure. So I took an old piece of paracord, made a loop, tied it, and it's been a custom wrist strap that saved my bacon a few times. The LX100 features a built-in, non-interchangeable lens with a variable minimum aperture of 1.7 to 2.8. The LX100's done something really interesting, effectively merging 2 markets, the cinematic 4K video scene and the world of compact point-and-shoot style cameras. It's great for shooting 4K video on a budget. It's good for traveling due to its relatively small form factor and a solid construction. Plus, the Leica lens is pretty impressive, albeit limited in its zoom range. Loads of great settings and features like a built-in time-lapse mode, stop-motion mode, wireless camera control and image transfer to compatible devices, 60 frames per second 1080p video, pretty good battery performance, and multiple aspect ratios make this camera handy for a lot of tasks. A host of custom functions in the camera, such as focus peaking, histogram, zebras, silent mode, eye sensor calibration, guidelines, monitor display style, 3 customizable function buttons is pretty impressive. And with all these settings, a ticker tape style description of each is available at the top of the menu, making it easy as a camera enthusiast to jump right in without reading a manual and get creative with the use of this Panasonic camera right from the start. The LX100 can deliver beautiful bokeh, but I find myself seeking out much more open areas where the subject can be farther from the background in order to get pleasant depth of field effects. Shooting at night looks pretty awesome once exported at 1080p. For productions outputting at 4K, the sharpness loss when shooting at high ISOs make footage extremely soft and isn't recommended if you're trying to output crisp Ultra HD video. Autofocus is pretty fast for compact cameras in photo mode, but unusable in video mode, where it hunts for the proper focus point or just doesn't focus correctly. It has a reasonable stabilizer, enabling you to use it for still, handheld shots. Anything beyond still shots into the world of dynamic camera movement with handheld is really out of the question. If you love shooting photos or video at events, as it does not have an interchangeable lens, the LX100 can provide a loophole. Most places will not classify it as a professional camera and thus let you shoot without a press pass. But several downsides severely limit the capabilities of the LX100. Video recording time is limited to 15 minutes, and the rear dial easily being able to be bumped, which could make you unwittingly change your exposure while shooting. The battery door and SD card slot are inconveniently located on the bottom of the camera, where any standard quick release, no matter how small, will need to be removed in order to change the battery or SD card. Plus, there are no battery grips available for this camera. Some users complain that the lens zooms rather slowly. If you want to go directly to the far end of the zoom range, it's going to take you a few seconds. Skin tones tend to be a weak point of this camera's processing, creating odd pinkish-purple blotches or a deep brown color, both in JPEG photos and in video mode. It's generally better to shoot at warmer color temperatures in order to avoid a strange-looking purple cast on people, especially their lips. But don't push it too far. There's no external mic port. There's a pretty much irrelevant filter button on the top that most photographers won't use and also isn't customizable. And although many of the previous cameras in this series were small enough to fit into an actual pocket, the LX100 isn't truly pants pocket friendly. There is no built-in ND filter, and while a 43mm thread is on the front of the lens, it's not entirely user-friendly and brings in some problems of its own. Firstly, that there are no high-quality variable ND filters available for 43mm threads. There are a couple cheaper ones that appear to make footage soft and/or discolored. And secondly, that many, if not most step-up filters, and filters in general, will get caught against the lens housing when the lens fully retracts, causing resistance against the lens extension motor and an error message that looks like this. In order to find a solution to this problem, I scoured the internet and came across a few people on forums who were struggling with the exact same thing. One such user found a solution simply by using a step-up ring by a specific brand, which apparently gives enough distance on the filter threads to allow the lens to fully retract. If you want to find this filter, I'll put a link in the description. Then I discovered this device advertised as a vented lens hood, specifically for the LX100. I haven't had the chance to try it out yet, but I'm hoping to get my hands on one at the next chance I have, along with a high-quality ND filter, and run some tests. It looks really promising. As a final criticism, the manual focus system is very difficult to use when tracking a subject in video mode. The reason I use the word system is because the focusing ring isn't truly the problem. It's the way that the ring's been programmed to electronically control the focus. If you move the ring quickly, it jumps from one side of the focus range to the other. But if you move it slowly, you could probably move it several turns without reaching the other end of its range. In conclusion, users of the Panasonic LX100 give it a consistent 4.5 out of 5 stars on Amazon and praise its ergonomics, image quality, 4K internal recording, silent operation, a hardy build quality, a high-quality lens, and its small, sturdy housing. While other users complain about its shortcomings, notably a lack of flip-out or touchscreen LCD, a lack of HDMI output for use with a monitor, and the electronic controls masquerading as truly manual, notably the focus ring, which makes follow focusing in video mode pretty much impossible. Using the LX100 is a mixed bag. If you're looking for a camera with all that 4K offers, but you need record times over 15 minutes, or you're making a film that requires fast motion or lots of follow focusing, then I highly recommend the GH4 as your camera of choice. All in all, I think the Panasonic LX100 is a high-value camera, and I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars for such a low price point, but didn't make it to a full 4 out of 5 stars due to the bad manual focus ring for video recording, odd skin tones, and lack of an HDMI output for use with a monitor. I recommend it to those who are willing to sacrifice some of the things they love about other cameras in order to enjoy the special features this camera offers. Or for anyone looking for a small camera capable of professional results and that is also easy to use as a point and shoot for the everyday user. Hi guys, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe to follow my adventures in filmmaking, as well as see more great gear reviews like this one. For your convenience, I've included links to all the gear that I've mentioned in the video description here on YouTube. Just click the Show More tab. I've also included a hand-picked list of accessories that could make your experience with this camera much more enjoyable. I'm Jonathan Hinterberger, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Oh,